with the book of Exodus. We're in chapter 8, and we're going to look now at the second out of the 10 plagues. We're reading from chapter 8, verses 1 to 4. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh and say to him, 'Thus says the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me. But if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite your whole territory with frogs. The Nile will swarm with frogs, which will come up and go into your houses and into your bedroom and on your bed and into the houses of your servants and on your people and into your ovens and into your kneading bowls. So the frogs will come up on you and your people and all your servants." Almost every time that Moses meets Pharaoh during these 10 plagues, he prefaces everything he says with, "Let my people go. Thus saith the Lord, let my people go." And so this is one of those times. And now we're on the second of the 10. Of course, Pharaoh doesn't know there's going to be 10. But anyway, here they come. After Pharaoh's disregard for God in the first plague sent, here comes number 2. But before inflicting the plague, Aaron and Moses tell Pharaoh exactly what's coming. God is a God who discloses. He tells what he's going to do, and then he does it. So many of his communications with humans are attempts to communicate, attempts to persuade. Sometimes he's dealing with pretty stubborn subjects. Possibly you and I have been some of those very stubborn subjects. Now, there's so many gods in Egypt. Let's update the god list, okay? So now we're going to look at the frog god. The Egyptians worshipped a frog-headed goddess called Hecht. She was said to be the consort of the god Khnum. Now, Khnum supposedly fashioned man from the clay and made him. That sounds a little bit like Genesis too, doesn't it? Kind of interesting. But Hecht was understood to be a goddess who helps women with childbirth. She's a fertility goddess. And that kind of raises an interesting question. Is this, a little bit of this, kind of part of God's response to remember Pharaoh's command? Take all the male Hebrew children and kill them, destroy them, drown them in the Nile. That was the command. And now here comes this plague, which is aimed, the first one was the Nile River's a god because everything's pantheistic in Egypt. And now we're pointing at the frog goddess. And so, yeah, she's in trouble here. Because after this is all over, there might not be a lot of happy frog worshipers. They're going to be so sick of this. So Egyptian frog worship kind of looks like it's in for some trouble in the days ahead. So let's see what happens tomorrow. And there's kind of a pause maybe in here between verses 4 and 5. Aaron and Moses have announced what's coming. You know, this is Pharaoh's opportunity to say, hey, you know what, let's rethink all this. You know, we're actually on the same wavelength. We're pretty much friends, aren't we? That's not what's going to happen. So there's some kind of a pause here because God doesn't implement it. The second plague does not happen just yet. It's been pronounced, and everybody's kind of standing there waiting, and we leave that as a cliffhanger till tomorrow morning. So see you tomorrow morning.